Good morning, everybody. 93s. I hope you have your true will. What does that mean? Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will. Well, let's face it. Every religion, philosophy, political structure has been based on the idea that someone knows something, they figured it out, and they're going to tell you the truth and convince you in a sort of essay format or through miracles or whatever the hell. But the point being, someone else is going to tell you what is right for you. You know what's right for you. That is the most daring philosophy that Aleister Crowley ever came up with. But more importantly than the mystique of it is it's time to end the preaching. It's time to end a structure of adopting what someone else says and to have a faith or a trust, more likely, in each individual's ability to accomplish something that's for the greater good. This doctrine is so unbelievable that it seems spooky or satanic or terrifying to most people. But in practice, it comes down to people coming together and finding out what each person, through their own gnosis, their own experiences, has decided makes sense to them. This could be believing in something, not believing in something, acting a certain way, acting a different way. Each individual, I can't help but think of Emma Goldman. That you come back to this, if you gave everybody their liberty, you'd be surprised what they do. It probably would be interesting and beautiful instead of terrifying. And authorities have always tried to make us think that we are at our base. I think of caveman cartoons. Remember caveman cartoons? And they always were a guy dragging a woman by her hair. Well, we know anthropologically that actually cavemen were more egalitarian and even matriarchal. That this whole prehistory was a lot more equal and fair, like the golden age described by the Greeks. Some sort of sense of beauty and harmony when people are free. As we created a state and a priest class and royalty and religions and morals, and you still have to find your own moral good. You have to find what works for you. But being told that you can't eat a certain kind of meat or whatever has just made people tell other people to do that in a violent way, in an oppressive way. One person coming up with rules for everyone doesn't work. Can we trust that we'll get somewhere with this? Well, Gnostically, let's try it. We've never tried it. I don't know, maybe in Spain or something. During, didn't they have an anarchy for a while that lasted like 6 months? But I guess I'm talking more immediately how we deal with each other. Everywhere I go, somebody, even if it's say everywhere from the person who's telling me silly faggot dicks are for chicks, who's some right wing motherfucker that I could beat the shit out of. Sorry, personal note. And to the other extreme, which is like a devout postmodernist, somebody who's so sure that everything is just symbols and there's no metaphysical element, there's no layer of connection to everything, that I'm connected to the trees and the birds and you know and and I want to recount another story about this is about people being sure they're right and telling someone else. I was in the Lakota practice for a long time. I was going to sweat lodges and sun dances, and I just casually said, "Oh, Grandmother Moon is full tonight." Lakota call the moon Grandmother Moon, and a Wiccan told me, "No, that's the mother, the maiden, and the crone." And I said, "You can't." We got in a huge argument about it. You can't like be sure that the moon is the mother, maiden, and crone. That's your belief. You can't tell me I'm wrong for calling it Grandmother Moon because Lakota peoples call it that. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Now you've just become the same thing that you're trying to get rid of. You become like a Christian. You know the truth and you're preaching the truth to people. Stop thinking you know the truth and stop telling other people to obey it, whether it's a philosophy, a religion, a politics, anything. Yes, there's some obvious common sense, but I guess the point is to stop dictating so much. I come back to Krishnamurti here, and he did a whole lecture on violence, and he said, "What is violence?" And the audience goes to this, like attacking people and stuff like that. And he comes down to, no, violence is has to do with ideas. Violence has to do with you being sure of something and insisting that other people believe it too. I think once we have a belief stuck in our head, this is the truth, we end up in a situation where we negate all other thoughts, all other speculation. We have to try new things to find out anything for ourselves and for other people. See, there I go again. I'm part of this too. We all are. The big joke about me being a cult leader is that I am the most unlikely to tell anyone what to do. you know, I worked in a group home for 10 years, and I tried to be as anarchistic as possible. I saw them as giving me a job as a guard, and I didn't want to be a guard. And because it was behavioral health and there were groups and stuff, I could get away with this very, well, what do you want to do? What is your truth? Uh, I have like a laryngitis right now. I kind of want to mention that there's been a lot of duality, and I feel like I'm leading towards something good in my life. Good. I'm leading towards the goal I want, and all kinds of things can go wrong with that. But it doesn't mean you're not moving in the right direction. I'm gonna go ahead and say, there's in Freemasonry images, there's a lot of times you'll see the checkered floor. That's the good and the bad of life, and you're moving across it, and it's gonna appear you're not gonna have good luck or bad luck. You're gonna have some things work out and some things not, but you're still moving in a direction. You're moving say you're moving towards a goal of accomplishing the artwork you want or something. Along the way, you might have car troubles, you might have physical ailments, but it doesn't mean that any of these are not leading towards your goal. Maybe when you had car trouble, it made you stay home and you worked more on your work or whatever, but the way we perceive good and bad happening to us is from a Zoroastrian myth, which only really works if you're in a warring culture and you're trying to gain things. Sorry, that's probably so out of context for most people. But the point being is life is really not like good or bad. Life is moving in one direction or another, and there's going to be good and bad involved, period. It's like playing a video game. You're still going to have your little ghosts and monsters attack you when you're going in one direction or the other. What a silly metaphor. But it works. This is a very long little speech this morning. But I just wanted to see what would happen if I just sort of randomly talked. And I guess I came down to true will. I wish you all your true will, and I could give a fuck about belief. I'm sick of the obsession with belief. It's a Christian obsession that your belief is so important. Try skepticism. Skepticism is great. Try not being sure of many things unless they seem to work for you. And then if they seem to work for you, keep doing them. Simple as that. Okay. 93s. I'm going to post this to YouTube for you now. I hope you all have a day that leads you closer to your will. A day that leads you closer to what works for you. Not what I think works for you, not what your mom thinks works for you, the government, your art teacher, your anybody, but what works for you. Okay. All right. Thank you.